And anybody else? Rafi has his hand up, and who else has their hand up?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay,
He was
go ahead,
first.
Brooklyn. I think maybe you might have been first.
It doesn't matter to me. Okay.
It doesn't matter to me either.
Namaste, my
Let's fight over it.
companions. I have a very interesting story about a Christmas. It's a short story, but I used to work for this Japanese bank in the World Trade Center in the 80s. I was on the 96th floor. And it was interesting working for Japanese at that time. We used to have fabulous Christmas parties, Regine's Store Club. Oh my God. And there was always someone who volunteered to be a Santa who no one knew who the Santa was. So none of the men wanted the role. So I says, I'll take it. So they looked at each other and says, well, they'll pad me up, gloves and everything, and deepen my voice. And I couldn't resist it. When I got up to give people their presents, I says, how. Yeah, I was so bad, that just comes to my mind. You gotta laugh, right? You gotta laugh.
But would you repeat what floor you said you worked on?
96.
I was thinking 96. What was that like going to work every day?
Oh my goodness. I love for the first 5 years, I just stare out of the window. You know, people, little cars, and it took two elevators. The first one was to the 72nd, I think it was, and it was zoom. And then they had different elevators, and one was for 80 something to 96.
I used
And
to
that
go
went zoom, your ears would pop and everything. And
I had a girlfriend. I used to go to this restaurant called Windows of the World, and it was
oh,
on the
107.
111th floor.
Oh, yeah, that changed after the bombing.
Yeah.
I went there, and after the bombing in 93, I went there again, but something wasn't right. My head didn't
The
feel
building wasn't there.
right.
It was gone.
Um,
Rafi.
Hi. The other aspect of giving is receiving.
Mhm.
And a grateful recipient is as important as the giver.
Yes.
This Christmas, I've been invited, I've been given to. I've been invited, I've been given to. I've been invited, I've been given to. And the stuff is incredible, and the invitations were amazing. And I didn't do anything. Phone rings, or I get an email, or the phone rings. We want you here. We want you there. And I go there, and I'm part of what's going on, and they're giving me things, and they're giving, and all I could do is be lovingly grateful, and lovingly grateful, and lovingly grateful. I didn't expect anything, and I thought, okay, the whole world is a reflection of my consciousness. I must be way more loving than I imagined I was, because what was coming to me is I'm inundated with love, kindness, friendship, compassion, giving. I just astounding what's going on. And I just stand there and shake my head and go, thank you, thank you, thank you, and just keep loving them. But again, it's giving and receiving are two halves of the same coin.
Absolutely. And the idea is that you are lovable. And that's, what we don't understand. We don't, the ego tells us that we are not lovable. The ego tells us that we don't make the standard. The ego tells us that we're missing the mark. The ego tells us that we can't possibly be worth the love that people are offering to us. And the reason that it does that is because it says, I'm the only one who loves you. Everybody else is just they don't know you, they're just using you, or they're, whatever it is. The ego has all these thoughts that tries to implant into you so that you're suspicious of the love that you're being offered. And it's a trick, because there's nothing to be suspicious about. We're being offered love because we deserve love. We're being offered love because we love. And this was very
Yeah.
hard for me. I definitely had real worthiness problems, thinking that I was not worthy of being loved, being really seen as, as who I am. And I came to really understand um, that, again, that's just a trick. And when you recognize that you are worthy, that God made me for a purpose because God loves me, and I'm worthy of God's love. Well, if I'm worthy of God's love, I'm worthy of your love for sure. And you're worthy of my love too. So that's why, I don't refuse any gift now. And it used to be, people would say, oh, I'll send you this, or, oh, no, 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 don't bother, I don't, me thinking I don't deserve it. Now I know I deserve it. And the thing that's so beautiful about it is it's a gift to you to give to me, just like it's a gift for me to give to you. Why would I think that you're worthy of my love, but I'm not worthy of yours? It's silly. It's just silly. So that whole thing, that's why I sing that song. I give to you and you give to me true love,
Love,
true
true
love. And on it will always
always
be
be
true
love,
love.
love,
True love, for you and I have a guardian angel on high, with nothing to do but to give to me and to give to you love forever true. Thanks for singing along, Brooklyn.
That was my first 45. It was my first 45
Oh
from
my gosh.
Richard Chamberlain sang that.
Yes. Oh my God. Dr. Kildare.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, love it.
You were
First
saying before about how the ego will constantly say they're the enemy, and you don't deserve any of this, and the evidence is always quite to the opposite. Otherwise, you'd have never got to Scotland.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Otherwise, those gifts would your family wouldn't be effusive in their giving, or friends wouldn't be effusive in their giving. That's why we can't listen to that thing, and because if it keeps saying they're the enemies when it's the enemy and it doesn't know it's the enemy, it's paranoid.
Yeah,
That whole ego concept is paranoid, and it feeds off that. And if you start thinking, then you're caught up in it. If you stand back and look at it, and like, yeah, thanks for sharing, but all of that's wrong. There's no such thing as an enemy. Love is the only reality. We are that infinite love. It is the very essence of all being. There is nothing else but, and this universe is, who was it? Robert Adams said, love is the substratum of all existence. So that's the only reality. Everything else we're looking at is a dream.
that's right. That's right. And that whole idea of our own worthiness. Jesus tells us in A Course in Miracles, the reason that you don't um practice this and do this and do what I'm telling you to do is because you don't think you're worth it.
Mhm.
I mean, he tells us straight up, we don't think we're worth it. And that's, that is a complete and total lie. We're absolutely worth it. You are all worth it. We are all worth it. And we are all equally worthy, every single one of us.
God's love doesn't pick and choose, okay? And it's never distracted. It's always, that's the reality.
That's right.
And this whole universe here, this whole universal dream has been perfectly engineered for our benefit. If that wasn't true, then, excuse me, that's love. And if it wasn't true, then there wouldn't be any love. But it is true because we prove it to ourselves daily.
It's right. That's right. And we begin to see that everything, just as you were saying here, everything that happens is love. Everything that happens in this world is love. And Jesus tells us it's either love or a call for love, which is love calling for itself. So no matter what seems to happen, no matter what situation comes about, it's love calling for love. And that's the only thing that, and the only reaction that is uh, appropriate is love. Just be that love that you are. And each and every one of us is just so filled with love, such a loving, oh my God, I could never have asked for a greater group of friends or a more joyful group of people to hang out with. I love you all so much.
If you look, like Lester Levinson said, if you look deep inside and ask what your deepest, deepest, deepest want is, it's love, because we think we're separated from the truth of the love that we really are. We think we're people and we have to fight for it, get it, do whatever we can to make sure that they like us. Otherwise, and none of that's true. But and once you let go of that fear of the lack of love, that wanting approval, that wanting love, it'd be amazed how everything turns around. And you have to be open and welcoming to it, because that's the reality. That's what we are. We're admitting it, and it reflects back.
Beautiful. Thank you so
It's
much, Rob.
amazing how the same thing is said in different words. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're a family of different, you know, different ways of expressing. I love it. And there's only one rule. Don't put down anybody else's. Of course, you know, that defeats the whole purpose.
Well, yeah, how can you put down what's equal? That's the thing. We're equal, so how could we put anything down?
Well, I was in a group where they got into this new thing and they started finding fault with the course. And I was pee off about that.
Oh
I
my
called
goodness.
John. Ego has to go its route.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, you know what though? That's the thing. See, ego knows what's going to push your button, pull
mm,
your trigger. Ego knows what that is. And that's why the work that we do, what was it? Who was saying this about that the powder has to be near the trigger
oh
for the
yeah,
trigger to
Amy
aim it.
said if you pull a trigger, it doesn't go off without gunpowder
That's
unless
right.
there's gunpowder already there. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
And that's exactly what we do, is
Mhm.
if we get our powder wet, or we don't allow our powder to be near the trigger.
Oh, shoot.
Uh,
He has this book where he says, how many of us realize that every time you point your finger at somebody else, you're pointing three fingers back at yourself?
Exactly, exactly.
About the cost, Lenny, being the youngest of the ACIM experience in the group, I've been in some other places and heard some other things. But I've learned one thing, and that is the cost, just like truth, don't need no defense. It
Exactly. I
is what
love
it
it.
is.
I love
I
it.
hear somebody say something crazy, I say, oh, well,
I love it.
cost don't need no defense.
no, you're right about that, Rico. It
If
does
if
not.
I defend myself, I'm attacked.
Yeah,
I,
But I noticed, I've known you a couple of years, you're very sensitive if somebody says something anti-cost. The cost don't need no defense. The cost is not offended.
well, I'm not now. I was just in that period where it bothered me. Why are you dissing the course for this now? It is. But anyway, I'm okay now. all things are lessons God would have me learn.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Oh, I love this. What a great conversation. So we're going to go and check out our reading for the night. We're in the Song of Prayer, and we're in section 1, prayer, and section 4 of that is praying with others. And I think last week maybe we read paragraph 3, but we didn't get through it, and we sure didn't get to paragraph 4 because I would definitely remember having talked about that, but I could definitely be wrong too. So, but I think we're on paragraph 3. So, um, would anybody like to read paragraph 3 for us? Can you guys see it up on the screen?
Yeah, I'll start us off. It's okay with everybody.
Absolutely, please do.
Paragraph 3, praying with others. Even the joining then is not enough if those who pray together do not ask before all else, what is the will of God? From this cause only can the answer come in which are all specifics satisfied, all separate wishes unified in one. Prayer for specifics always asks to have the past repeated in some way. What was enjoyed before or seemed to be, what was another's, and wait, let me do that again. What was another's, and he seemed to love, all these are but illusions from the past. The aim of prayer is to release the present from its chains of the past illusions, to let it be a freely chosen remedy from every choice that stood for a mistake. What prayer can offer now so far exceeds all that you have asked before, that is pitful to be content with less. Pretty interesting paragraph for me. I think we did touch on it, but we didn't finish it. I like the beginning draws a guy like me in when it says, know what God's will is before I even get started. So before I go to the mountaintop with all the stuff that Mr. Rico wants or needs or wants to happen, my control issues, what is God's will? Been sponsoring hundreds of guys for many years on it's about thy will be done, not mine. So when I go into my personal prayer, I need to see what is the will of God. And the first thing I need to do when praying for somebody is invite what we call inviting in. What I do with the guys I sponsor is there's some prayers we say, but before we begin, we invite in what we call the divine third. Without that, our prayer is not going to be complete, nor it's going to go with the junk mail instead of first class. So it's interesting they're saying here, know and be with God's will before you start praying. And then they're telling me from this, cause only can answer come in, which are all specific satisfied. So that tells me I'm not that there's right or wrong, but just for all intents and purposes, I'm starting out on the right track when I want to be aware of God's will before I go into prayer with another, because we both going to travel the same road here. And then all separate wishes are unified in one, which I do believe. Prayer for specifics always has to have. I like this one. Now, this is not new, but kind of new for me in the perspective that, and I'm reading this and I'm looking at my personal prayer life. Stay out the past. Be current. I think there's only place God is, and that's right here, right now. So if I go into yesterday or tomorrow, I'm missing something. Mainly, I'm missing God. So I like this. Leave whatever was yesteryear, or yesterday, or yesterhour. Leave that alone. What was another's? And he seemed to love. All these are but illusions from the past. Okay, so I think, and this is where I'm gonna rely on you guys, like I have been the last couple of years, on this sentence, all about illusion, but from the past. So they're saying, stay out of that. This is a question. Are they saying, stay out of that and just be current with God right here, right now, in your prayer? The aim of prayer is to release the present from its change. So when I bring in the past, I bring my prayers into the present that are from the past. I'm sort of diluting it, or I'm bringing illusions in. I'm not real clear on that. What
Yeah,
prayer?
I think Rico, what he's really saying here is that we had something great at one time. You know, my family was great. They loved me. I had, you know, a boyfriend that really cared about me. I had, you know, I had something that made me feel good in the past. So I'm going to ask God to give it to me now again, because I know for sure that that's going to make me feel good because it made me feel good before. So I'm asking for something that I already have some idea, you know, this made me happy before, it's going to make me happy again. Or he also is saying, don't be looking at what somebody else has and look at what he made him happy, to, get a new car, or to have a loving family or something. Don't be coveting our brother's life. Don't be coveting our own past life. Just stop thinking about the ideas of what seemed to make us happy in the past, because what seemed to make us happy in the past, it was not real, or else it would still be here making us happy. What is real cannot change. So if it's not still, if we've lost it, I lost my true love, my family deserted me, my car broke down, whatever it is that I'm looking at and saying, that's the thing that was broken, that needs to be fixed. And so I'm asking God, hey, fix this for me, give me this back. And all that stuff in the past, it could not help me either, because it wasn't real, or else I'd still have it. There'd be no there I wouldn't be longing for it now. So long for my youth, long for my healthy body, long for, whatever it is that I think, in the past made me happy. It's over now. So, what I need to ask now is, what do you want from me, God? What do you want from me? Because I know God's will for me is perfect happiness. So whatever God wills for me right now is going to make me perfectly happy, which is really all I want. Wanting my old car, that's not going to make me it didn't make me perfectly happy when I got it. The man didn't make me perfectly happy when I was with him. That none of these things did in what God willed for me. So he's basically saying, uh, let's not look in the past to see what's going to make us happy. We need to look right now. What is it, God, that you want from me? And then you're going to get something, like he says, that exceeds anything you ever imagined. In any pitiful thing you ever imagined, what God's going to give you now is so far beyond that, you won't even be able to remember what that thing was. Anyway, that's my thought about what this is saying.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That's really clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Rico. And Rafi, please go ahead.
Yeah, the other aspect of this is praying for somebody else. If you're praying for somebody else to get a better job, to get well, to get this, to have that, what you're doing is coming from a point of view of seeing them as inadequate, as less than. That's not the equality of being that we all are. We are all one and the same. You could say, all right, children of God, infinite beings, complete consciousness, pure awareness. There's nobody less than anybody else. There's nobody better than anybody else. But if I get into a place where I'm praying, gee, I hope they get a better job. Gee, I hope I'm looking at them as less than, as inadequate, as they don't have. And that's an ego point of view. Or if you're praying for, I want this, I wish I had that, I would, stuff from the past, that's coming from a point of view of want or lack. And as long as you're coming from a point of view of want or lack, that's what you'll manifest. So it's a very tricky road. And you have to be real careful, because ego will jump right in and start tap dancing all around, making sure it has it its way. And you think you're doing something holy, and yes, I really wish that they would thrive. I really wish that they would be healthy and have all. All you're saying is they aren't good enough. They're lacking them. That's a trap, and that is only going to continue manifesting the suffering that ego victim mentality constantly keeps coming from. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Rafi. What a great point. Absolutely. And I mean, really you don't even think that you're thinking your brother is less when you're feeling sorry for him. But that's really, I mean, this is why, we get into this idea of being in empathy and think that it means we feel sorry for a person because of their situation. In reality, all it is, I think that they're not able to take care of themselves, or that God's not taking care of them good enough, or that they're less capable than I am to experience life, uh, and the challenges of life. We have to recognize our brothers are equally capable of experiencing whatever happens in their lives. They've asked for it. It's part of their script. And for me to say, "Oh, well, that shouldn't have been in your script. I feel bad for you because I don't think you're worthy. You're able to handle that kind of stuff." It's it's demeaning. And you're absolutely right, Rafi. I don't know if that's what you were, that's what I got from what you were saying. Yeah, we're just seeing them as being less capable than we are of experiencing the experience we ask for and have been given in accordance with our request. It's hilarious to me, if that makes any sense. Brooklyn, please go ahead.
Love this conversation. Thank you, Rafi, Rico, Linny. So glad to be here. Namaste, mighty companions, by the way. It's all about trust. There was this game when I was younger called group therapy. Someone would stand there and you would fall in their arms. Hopefully they would catch you. You had to trust that they would catch you. So that's what it reminds me of. I do not know my own best interests. And I trust that everything that's coming my way is for my benefit. And, even mistakes are for my benefit. And wow, I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Thank you, Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah, what could you not accept? I mean, Dove says it how many times a day, and it's true. Everything that happens, past, present, and to come, gently planned by one whose only purpose is my good. And if I can see it as that, then I'm not going to complain about anything that happens. I'm going to be joyful that thank you, God, for helping me to see what it is that uh, you have given me the opportunity to see here. It's what a gift. What a gift. Anybody else have any thoughts here before we move on? Let's see what's in the chat here. All right.
Yeah, I just appreciate what Rafi was saying. Also, in fact, Trace and I, we had, I think it was last Saturday, but we was having a big discussion. And when I say big, I don't mean hostile or anything like that, just a happy discussion. But we were talking about giving. And I just shared with her a lot of giving concepts. And Rico was talking earlier about how he used to give and didn't even want to give. He was just giving because he thought he had to do it because he did it for the other person or whatever. And I was just taking her, we were just even sharing with her, like even in the Bible where I said God loves the cheerful giver. And it specifically says, do not give under compulsion or manipulation or arm twisting or anything like that. And so as Rafi was talking, I was sharing with Tracy, like, you may see me giving But you think I'm giving because I'm looking at this person, oh, I feel sorry for them. They probably need some help. And I was telling her, that's not why I'm giving. I give to celebrate. I celebrate uh, our bumping into each other. I get excited about this holy instant. I have a holy instant, and I'm like, it's in celebration. It's not in like, oh, there's a lack in your life and let me help you. It's just like, but and you may think we're splitting hairs, but like Rafi was saying, that little tweak uh, is is a big tweak. It's not splitting hairs. It's that it's we all do the same things, but it's why we're doing it, and that why is makes all the difference in how that gift or that receiving is going to go out into the whole world and universe. It's not just two individuals that's in a giving exchange, but that energy and that vibration of love and appreciation goes way beyond we could ever imagine. Uh, what our acts do. I'm actually giving legs or arms to my love. It's just another way to express love, just like true love making or sex is really an offering when it's done from the right perspective. It's not me trying to get something, it's me trying to give something, trying to extend myself even more. And so it's just another way of extending love, but it's not that mindset of, oh, you poor pitiful thing, let me help. you know.
I hope not. Thank you, Regis. I love that. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to share before we move to the next paragraph?
But yeah, let me share back because you laugh, but even about sex, we talked about this in therapy. So many women from a generation, they just thought it was a duty. And a lot of people still go into marriage and relationships with that mindset that it's a duty, and guys can go in there with like, oh, you just owe this to me, because I'm your man, and so that takes. I was talking about this with a therapist a couple of weeks ago. We was having a conversation, and we were sharing about how you don't even experience the essence of love with that mindset. For you to really experience love and even love making, you will never know what amount of bliss and ecstasy that there can be in that, with that type of sacrificial mindset. So it is in all areas of our giving, a concept that we can really broaden. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you, and I think that is a place where it's a tricky place because there is, there's so much involved in specialness that involves it. There's so much thought about what I'm getting, what I'm giving. It really is, and our culture has made it that way. You're right about that. Our culture has really uh, changed something that was absolutely natural and should have no ties on it, and turned it into a bargaining chip, and it turned it into a power thing. And it's not not just a loving thing to do in so many cases. So that's really, you have to be really clear with yourself about why you're doing it, and what it is, is it, as true affection for another person? Is it just to have fun? It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's just to have fun. As long as everybody's clear on it, we're just having fun here. And not, one person thinking, he's going to marry me, and the other person thinking, who am I going to go visit next week? That's There has to be communication that goes with that, and it's got to be honest and open and clear, or else it is just, it's just usury. Anyway, Brooklyn, go ahead. And Robbie, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, but you covered it, so I didn't think it was necessary for me to be repetitive.
Okay, all righty. Yeah, go ahead, Brooklyn.
I have a beautiful story. I'm filled with stories, you know, and but I just take the miracles from it, you know, when I try to take all. But anyway, so yeah, I went to Whole Foods at Union Square, and you know, I carry around the crackers and peanut butter and cream, the crackers and you know, individually wrapped so I can, you know, talk with the homeless. And you know, I was on my way to Whole Foods, and there's this guy, he looked very happy. He was lying down there, and he's, you know, an older person. And I said to him, "Would you like this?" And he took it. And then, you know, but I didn't find too many homeless. I was coming back from a Whole Foods, and I says to the guy, "I got a peanut butter one now," you know? And so he took it, he kissed it. You know, like who has gets this gift, you know? Yeah.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet.
Who gets this? We both, you know, like,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, it was real.
yeah, you get the gift.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, let's look at paragraph 4. Who'd like to read paragraph 4 for us?
I'll read it. Oh, Brooklyn has her hand up. Go ahead, Brooklyn.
You could read it, Regis.
All right.
Thank
Let's
you.
not fight over it now.
Now, children,
Take turns.
you'll get your turn. You have chosen a newborn chance each time you pray. And would you stifle and imprison it in an ancient prison? Let me say it again. And would you stifle and imprison it in ancient prisons when the chance has come to free yourself from all of them at once? Do not restrict your asking. Prayer can bring the peace of God. What time-bound thing can give you more than this? What time-bound thing can give you more than this? In that the little space that lasts until it crumbles into the dust.
Yeah, thank you, Regis. Any thoughts about this? A newborn chance. And each time you pray. That's such a beautiful thing to think about because, you know, there's so many times that, you know, I will think to myself, geez, I really blew it. I could really have been, you know, I could have had a V8. I could have been looking for, you know, a love instead of the upset that I discovered when I was deciding whether or not to call my sister, who she and I have some different ideas about things. But every single time, it's all new. There's no past in prayer. There's no future in prayer. Right now is the only time that it is. And why would I keep my mind set in that old feelings of guilt and shame when I could be right now in a feeling of complete joy, the peace of God? Rico, please go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot to properly greet my family. Good evening, family and friends. Welcome. Thank you for letting me be here with you. And I do send you love and light from my heart to yours. This particular paragraph, I'm so glad this came up before we go to the next section. Takes me back to the paragraph that I asked you a question about that you explained to me about so masterfully. Because when you were explaining to me, I was saying to myself, or something was saying to myself, the next time I pray, I'm going to do this. I prayed in all kind of ways, all kind of places, and all kind of faces. I'm going to start going to God and say, before I start praying, God, please lead me. Here, I am given a brand new chance now. And I felt like when Regis read this, I was sort of vibrating because it felt like I was given a brand new chance because I had already committed to the next time I pray, I'm going to seek out God's will before I even open my mouth. This like came boom right at me, and it says, and then the next section. So that means that's the end of this one. So for me, this is perfect, and I just wanted to share my direct experience with perfection in this group. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, Rico, I just love it. Anybody else have anything on this paragraph or anything they'd like to share? Rafi, please go ahead.
Yeah, it just brings to mind the power of the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Because when you pray that prayer, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, then you're taking responsibility for being in harmony with the truth of God, with the truth of being. All right. You're not saying, I can't do anything and I don't have anything that way. There's none of that. It's make me an instrument of your peace, where there's hatred, let me sow love. Well, okay. Now you're taking responsibility to be in harmony with the truth. And once you do that, there's no sense of lack, limitation, turn it over, take responsibility. I don't know what to do here. We're in this together. There's no separation between me and the Holy Oneness. And I think that prayer kind of nails it perfectly. There are a few others. The one, I'm here to be, you guys use it all the time. I'm here only to be helpful. Okay, that doesn't suggest that, I'm going to stand back and hope to God something happens. Let me get in there, roll up my sleeve, and be part of the action, be part of the process, be one with the truth. And I thought that the power of that, it kept jumping out at me and reinforcing itself to me. And that's why I raised my hand.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Rafi. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. All those prayers, they're basically saying, let me step back and let you lead the way. And,
But being
who
in
can go
harmony
wrong?
with that, it's not okay. There's a prayer that I've heard used, and I use it myself. Infinite, hi, this is infinite beingness, so this is God. I'm going to be handling all your problems today, and I won't need your help in any way. So relax and enjoy yourself. Then you're in harmony with the truth. Okay, then it's I don't want this, and I don't not want this, and let me protect myself. Okay, just stand back, and whatever that is, and it comes under thy will be done. Thy will is my will. There's no separation.
Absolutely. I love that. That's awesome, Rafi. Yep. Hi, I'm God, and I got things under control, so you can just relax.
Everything is unfolding for your benefit.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Brooklyn, please go ahead.
I have another story. This is okay. So when I was younger, I was about I used to wake up with night terrors. And my mom would come in and stay with me and everything. And then I went to visit my Aunt Mildred, and I woke up screaming, and she gave me a book, a Jewish prayer book called a Siddur. And she says, say this prayer before you go to sleep, and you won't have nightmares. Yeah, it worked. It worked. That was one of the first miracles I experienced. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Do you remember how that prayer goes?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. No. I have the book, so I could get it. It's in my bedroom.
That's very cool. I just love to hear it. And of course it's in Hebrew, so
Well, no. I didn't say it in Hebrew. I don't know. It just came to me, in Hebrew, but I don't even know Hebrew, but my brother taught me another prayer in Hebrew, and I was thinking, no, it's not this prayer. I'll be right back.
okay, all right. Regis, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just echoing back with Rico, just contemplating that first line though. You have chosen a newborn chance each time you pray. I mean, if us that's been in Western world all of our life and a part of different religious assemblies, I mean, this is just really moving me. Just how we can so easily get into this perfectory praying, perfunctory praying, and not realizing the opportunity. I mean, this to me is just igniting a flame to know that each time you pray, really, to like, I need to, you know, this is refreshing because so, sometimes if you don't have a goal and you don't know what the goal is, you just kind of spinning in kind of spinning your wheels. But this is so profound to just think, oh, I'm going to pray this morning, or I'm going to pray tonight, or and to really be conscious and aware and have an expectation. This is a very high expectation. You have chosen a newborn chance each time you pray. Wow, that is profound. I know we've done the song of prayer before, but this line has never stood out like it's standing out tonight. Yeah, thanks.
Isn't that funny how that happens? I see Brooklyn is back with her prayer book. Do you want to wait and let Rafi talk and
Go
then
ahead, Rafi.
read the prayer for us?
Yeah, I just want to say that a lot of the times when people are praying, they're praying for things. I'd like this. I'm praying for this. I'm praying for that. I'm praying for a scholarship. I'm praying for a car. I'm praying for my plumbing to be fixed. I'm praying for, and what they're doing is they're praying to try to make the dream better. And that ain't what we're here for. We're here to wake up from the dream. And they're coming from lack, so it ain't gonna happen. B, they're trying to make the dream better. We're not here to make the dream. You can't make the dream better. The dream is here to do what it does, and it ain't real anyway. And these are all thought projections, so they're not taking responsibility, and it just keeps people. You keep digging a deeper and deeper and deeper hole, and they think, yes, but I'm praying. Yeah, okay. Now you understand where you're coming from? Okay, you're praying from, I don't have, and I want this to be better. Excuse me. The only purpose we're here for is to wake up, to remember what I am, to wake up from this dream, to
Yeah.
read self-realization, or however you label it. But I get a big kick out of it because every once in a while I catch myself doing it. I go, oh, hold on. What is that? Oh, that's just thinking. What are those thoughts for? They're superfluous. They're completely meaningless, and just let them go. And if a feeling comes up, let that go too. So I get back to the peace and the oneness.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for that, Rafi. Beautiful. And it's just so true. You'll never have peace. You could get everything you ever prayed for, and you would still not have peace because the things of the world will they're not they can't satisfy you and they won't last. Brooklyn, did you have that prayer for us?
I do, and also when you pray that you need something, you're gonna get that need. The need is going to continue, right? The universe grant. So, okay, here we go. I had this since I was 8 years old. Yeah. Could you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My goodness.
Okay. Let me see. Well, it's a very, very long prayer, but I just said the first part, and that seemed to work. Blessed art thou, O eternal, our God, King of the universe, who causes the bands of sleep to fall upon my eyes and slumber on mine eyelids. May it be thy will, O eternal, my God and God of my forefathers, to suffer me to lie down in peace and raise me up again in peace. Do not allow my thoughts to terrify me, nor evil dreams, nor bad cogitations. I'm sorry, cogitations. Yeah. Well,
Cogitations?
oh well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cogitations.
Yeah, cogitations.
Thank you. I didn't know it then, but it didn't make a difference.
Obviously not.
Okay. Okay. Goes way past words. But let my rest be perfect before thee. Enlighten mine eyes again, lest I sleep in death, for it is thou who giveth light to the apple of the eye. Blessed art thou, O eternal, who enlightens the whole world with his glory, God, faithful King. Wow, it's been a long time.
That's pretty crazy.
Brooklyn, you are really fascinating me tonight. I mean, I'm typically one not to go down rabbit trails and get off topic, but the stuff that you say, it's like, first when you talk about working on the 96th or 7th floor, it's like, I can't even imagine going to a job every day and have to go up 97 floors. And then you turn around and say you've had this book since you was 8 years old. It's like, who is?
Yes.
How do you hang on to something like that through all of life? That all of life is thrown at you. That you hang on to stuff. That's like amazing to me.
All time is going on at once. This
Yeah,
is with me, right?
yeah. So what's the name of that book?
It's called a Siddur. It's
Uh-huh.
a Jewish prayer book,
Okay.
and it goes from from back to front.
Yeah.
Dove knows about this. Yeah, Siddur. Yeah,
Yeah, I just put it up on the chat.
yeah.
If you click that, uh, the one that they're showing costs $374. I think that your book is a valuable book, by the way. I do.
Well, it's valuable to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Imagine
amazing.
that they sell it for 374. Well, it's leather bound,
Well, this has stuff on it,
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, the one that I put up, if you click it, it has the same rough cover. Look at it.
Okay, let me see.
That's hilarious.
Uh,
And now Brooklyn has a valuable book.
wow, it's I haven't really looked at that book for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
valuable.
That spirit telling you it's time to take a look.
Take a look at that book.
Yeah. Look at the book.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but my Aunt Mildred here say this prayer, and yeah, my night terrors stopped.
That's
They used to be
amazing.
bad. And I also used to walk in my sleep. When I had the car accident, my mother was worried I tried to get up and walk. I had 2 broken legs.
Oh my
My
goodness.
poor mother. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what we say, my poor mother. Hey, Mickey, go ahead.
Let's see if I can get all the buttons right. Hi, guys. This has been so awesome to listen to. I kind of feel like I'm a little talked out from this morning talking so much. My voice is going. I don't know what's going on. I overspent it, but Brooklyn, that's some generational healing right there. That is so awesome. That goes back to your ancestors. And, that's what I think prayer is all about. Not necessarily the words, but what's in our hearts and what was in it was your aunt, you said? What was in your aunt's heart was so healing, and it came back from long ago. And I think that's so awesome. And what Rafi was saying before, I really love too. It's like we don't pray for things. We pray for God to open our hearts. We pray to be in God, just to open us up, and we pray for healing. That's all, that's what that whole thing that I was talking about earlier is for. It's, like no matter what, things aren't going to heal us. Things aren't permanent. They don't give us lasting love. They don't give us the peace of God. The thing, changing the circumstances, the appearance in the dream, what Rafi was talking about, making it a better dream, that doesn't heal us. Peace heals us. The peace of God heals us. So I love the song of prayer. I think it's beautiful, and that's it. That's all I got. That's all my voice has.
Oh my gosh, Nikki. That's crazy. You know what? That's ego saying, no more talking for you. You've been doing, oh, no, 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 no.
That's ego saying, "Shut the f up."
Yeah, yeah. And you got to say, you shut the F up. You do it.
Absolutely.
Brooklyn. Go ahead, Brooklyn.
I can't believe I forgot what I wanted to say. I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, you guys. Well, our
I love
time.
us.
I love us too. And
Love is never having to say I'm sorry,
that's right.
Amen.
especially in this group.
Oh, I love us so much. Big hugs, everybody.
Big hugs to you and happy Christmas and Merry New Year's, and we'll be seeing each other again soon. So
We on or off New Year's Eve?
that's we're on.
On Tuesday?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
We're on
I don't have any
tomorrow.
plans.
We're on tomorrow morning, aren't we?
Yes, we're on tomorrow morning.
Oh, thanks, Rafi.
I don't
Jeez,
think
thank you,
she's
Rafi.
going to be there.
I just texted with Karen and she said she's going to be there tomorrow.
Oh,
So, and the other thing too is for our we're going to be talking about our New Year's, I don't know if you want to call it resolutions, but thoughts that we want to take into the new year. So tomorrow with in the Joel Goldsmith group with Glorian, we're going to be talking a little bit about that. So have in your mind what not New Year's resolutions. I don't expect New Year's resolutions out of this group because, if we're not doing it now, when are we going to do it? But just, expectations, how we hope to conduct ourselves, how we plan to move forward. So we can talk about that tomorrow.
Can I
So,
share quickie, Lynn?
yes.
I gave up resolutions years and years ago, but what I try to do now is take a look at my spiritual aspirations for the coming year. I made them last year. Now I have to sit and look at, okay, you say you wanted this. What have you committed to and put some action towards? And I don't beat myself up. I just take a look at what pulled me more than the other. So this year, I'll look at my spiritual aspirations for 2025 and see what that looks like. resolutions.
Absolutely.
I used to make resolutions when I used to get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I just want to remember now.
that's it. And you know, for me, my goal is to keep myself as present as possible, and in turn, uh, join with you in presence as often as possible as well. So it's that being here now, which our dear Brooklyn's dear departed boyfriend
Oh,
told us about.
he's not departed. He just
I
doesn't
know.
body.
But yeah, be here now. I'll tell you, that's the only book my husband ever read of anything spiritual. And he, to this day, that's his
You know
book.
what I was going to say? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, please.
It was what Ram Dass said. Ram Dass said he had a bicycle that he loved. He loved the bicycle. And the bicycle was stolen. So he got a old car. He loved the old car. It didn't matter. You know, like Susan always says, when you're plugged into the God socket, that's what it's all about.
That's it. That's all that matters. So, uh,
Mm.
all right, you guys. Love you all. See you in the morning.
Night, night.
Bye.